Hi, and welcome back to Financial Alchemy. Are you selling something? Or, more precisely, do you want to sell your product or service to as many customers as possible? If the answer is yes, then today's video is for you. Have you ever wondered why, with the same product or service, some people close deals like crazy, while others struggle to close even a few scattered sales? If you're in a similar situation, don't worry too much. Zig Ziglar said, "Keep yourself positive, cheerful, and goal-oriented. Sales success is 80% attitude and only 20% aptitude." In today's video, I'll reveal to you 5 top-notch customer psychology manipulation techniques in the art of closing sales. And at the end of this video, there will be 10 classic sales techniques for 10 different customer types, so you can sell to anyone. Now, get ready! Part 1. 5 top-notch customer psychology manipulation techniques in sales. 1. The first psychological tactic: creating artificial scarcity, the secret weapon of fruit sellers. Have you ever gone to buy fruit at the market and, even though you knew you were paying a high price, still happily paid? The story goes like this. The other day, I went to the market to buy fruit for an offering. My mother had told me to buy 3 kilograms of mangoes, and they only cost $1.20 per kilogram. I went to the market, and to avoid being overcharged, I walked around the entire market. Finally, I stopped at a fruit stall with the most beautiful mangoes. The fruit seller greeted me warmly. "Hi, what are you buying? Let me get it for you." I asked, "How much are the mangoes per kilogram?" The seller quickly replied, but before answering, she asked, "Are you buying them to eat or for an offering?" I replied, "For an offering." The fruit seller cheerfully said, "Then take this type. They're big, round, sweet, and beautiful. How many kilograms do you want?" I was on my guard, so I asked, "But how much do they cost?" She said, "Will you arrange them on a large, round plate or put them in a basket?" I said, "I'll arrange them on a large, round plate. But if the price is expensive, I won't buy them." She cheerfully said, "Don't worry, I never overcharge. If you're arranging them on a large plate, take 3 kilograms. I'll choose ones with leaves still attached, so they look nice on the altar." Then she packed 3 kilograms of mangoes for me and said, "I sell these to others for $2 per kilogram, but since it's early in the morning, I'll give them to you for $1.60. Give me some good luck." Because my mother had told me the price was only $2, I immediately said, "Oh, my mother buys them for only $2 per kilogram. Other places don't sell them for this high a price." She cheerfully said, "Dear, how can they be the same? These are Cat Holok mangoes, grade A. You've walked around the whole market and came here, and you're telling me this? Besides me, there's no one else in this market with mangoes this beautiful. Spend a few extra dong for the offering, and the ancestors might bless you even more. Why are you being stingy?" Hearing her closing line, I could only nod in agreement. It's true that buying from people just requires a reasonable and valid reason, and her mangoes were really beautiful. In the end, I happily bought 3 kilograms of mangoes for $4.80. That's it. The fruit seller tapped into the psychological artificial scarcity of the product. Big, beautiful, and grade A Cat Holok mangoes. The fruit seller successfully sold 3 kilograms of mangoes at a high price, and the customer still happily paid. Because we live in an era of material abundance, we tend to have a psychological desire to find and own things that are scarce, that belong to the few. Top salespeople around the world have consistently created the psychological effect of artificial scarcity for customers, such as only 1 day left to own product ABC, limited edition, or be one of the first 10 customers to buy product XYZ at an incredibly preferential price. And that's the first psychological tactic, creating artificial scarcity to sell to. The second psychological tactic, creating a new experience. The marketing lesson of Sheng Siong Supermarket in Singapore. You probably know that Singapore is famous as a wealthy country with a series of famous retail brands in the world. And there's no shortage of affordable markets for the people of this island nation. However, do you know what makes Sheng Siong Despite having stores located around markets, still able to sell essential items and breakfast foods well? Specifically, the Shangshang store initially only provided convenience items and food to customers, but it seemed that people here preferred to buy fresh, hot breakfasts at the hot food stalls in the nearby markets. So the owner of this chain store launched a new product, hamburgers and breakfast foods at prices equal to or $1 cheaper than the neighboring stores. This wasn't particularly special, but the food was always hot and delicious and placed in beautifully branded Shangshang boxes. This created a different experience, making customers think they were getting a bargain at the same price as at the market, or even a full dollar cheaper. That was a new and wonderful breakfast buying experience, and as a result, many people lined up to buy breakfast at the store. It was precisely by tapping into the customer's psychology of wanting to experience something new that Shangshang's breakfast products were completely sold out. Some customers, while strolling through the store, even conveniently bought a bottle of water and a few other products. This significantly increased the store's sales. 3. The third psychological tactic, the decoy effect, KFC's upselling method. Have you ever eaten at a KFC restaurant? If you have, you're probably very familiar with their combo deals. KFC fast food restaurants often have many combos for customers to choose from, including Combo 1, 1 piece of chicken for $3. Combo 2, 2 pieces of chicken and a Pepsi for $6. Combo 3, 3 pieces of chicken, a portion of chicken nuggets, and 2 Pepsis for $8. So if you're going with 2 people, would you choose to buy to Combo 1 South, Combo 2, or Combo 3? Let me guess ... you'd buy Combo 3, right? I'm sure you'd choose Combo 3 and think you're a smart consumer. Just by spending an extra $2, you've bought double the amount. With this method, KFC restaurants have made you happily spend an extra $2, equivalent to increasing their sales by 1.5 times. Why is that? It seems like they're losing money, and the customer is getting the biggest benefit. The secret lies in the psychological tactic of the decoy effect, which is used very cleverly by salespeople. The salesperson will offer to product price points, a higher price with better quality and a lower price with lower quality. In this case, it's Combo 1 and Combo 3. When faced with 2 choices, buyers often hesitate and consider very carefully. They often choose the cheaper item, wanting to spend their money most economically. This is something that salespeople never want. Therefore, a decoy product appears, Combo 2, priced at $6. This decoy combo disrupts the customer's decision-making and brings huge profits to the seller. 4. The fourth psychological tactic, reciprocity, fear of being indebted. The strategy of giving free samples by cosmetics companies. People usually feel very guilty if they're indebted to others, especially for emotional debts. If someone helps you when you're in difficulty, you'll probably remember that person forever and find every way to help them back. Or, if someone gives you a gift on your birthday, you'll give them a gift of equivalent value on their birthday. Or, when you go to a shopping mall and receive a free gift, you'll tend to buy products from that brand, right? The secret here is that it's not by chance that brands give away free gifts to customers. They're using the psychological strategy of customer fear of being indebted. At this point, the salespeople will send customers samples or free services to try. You think, anyway, it's free and I'll try it to see how it is. Besides, no one refuses a nicely packaged, free item. The result is that when you finish using it, you'll tend to buy more of that product to show your gratitude to the seller. We tend to reciprocate and show gratitude for what we receive. It's this very psychology that drives you to reciprocate what you received for free. Therefore, top salespeople often use this method to upsell or introduce new products. 5. The fifth psychological tactic, the selling combs to monks business lesson. There's a great sales story that I mentioned in a previous video, selling combs to monks. In a sales staff recruitment session at a comb manufacturing company, the director asked the candidates to go to the temples in the area and sell combs. Most of the candidates gave up, even thinking the director was crazy. but 3 people agreed to participate in the challenge. The first person, he went to the front of the temple and asked to meet the head monk to sell combs. But monks don't have hair, so why would they use combs? Thinking he was mocking them, the monks chased him out of the temple. But he persisted and pleaded. Finally, the monks bought him 1 comb out of pity. The second person, he went to the temple and said to the abbot, "Reverend sir, I see that our temple is the largest in the area, but when devotees come to worship, their hair is not neat. So why don't you place combs for them to comb their hair to be presentable before worshiping?" The abbot felt it was reasonable, so he bought 10 combs to place in 10 locations around the temple. The third person, he went to the largest temple in the area and asked to meet the abbot to present his comb of merit project. He said to the person in charge of the temple, "Reverend sir, our temple is the largest in the area. Every day, many devotees come to offer incense. All those who come to Buddha have good hearts. I think we should also have a small gift to encourage good deeds. I have brought some combs from the company, and since you have superior calligraphy skills, please write the 3 words comb of merit on them as a gift for everyone." The abbot was interested and immediately bought 100 combs as gifts for those who came to the temple. Word spread, and soon, the comb of merit became popular, and the temple even ordered more combs. From the story above, we see 3 typical sales approaches. 1. Selling through traditional pleading. 2. Selling based on needs. Although sales are made, the quantity is not significant. 3. Touching the emotions of others. By touching the good hearts of the devotees, the third young man successfully sold many combs. Part 2. How to sell to 10 classic customer types to sell to anyone. With over 40 years of sales experience, Jeffrey Gitomer shared that the biggest secret of every sales pitch is preparation. What have you prepared before meeting your customers? Prepare your attitude towards each different customer type by approaching them with the idea of helping them solve a different problem. 1. Selling to gullible customers. This is the type of customer who trusts the salesperson's words very much. If you meet this type of customer, your chances of closing the deal are very high. Then enthusiastically advise them about the product or service to close the sale. 2. Selling to suspicious customers. The characteristic of this customer is that they ask a lot of questions. This type of customer may have been cheated to many times, so they're afraid of being cheated. When they hear any information, they'll think it's not true. With these questioning customers, you should listen and answer their questions. When they realize you're a good listener, providing advice and answering their real needs, they'll trust you and be more likely to buy your product. 3. Selling to hesitant customers. To sell to these customers, you need to create a little pressure. Motivating them is the best way to lead them to a purchase decision. Sometimes, you have to actively call on the customer to act at the decisive moment. This could be a call to action or promotions with special offers, setting a short time limit of a few hours or a few days. 4. Selling to bargain-loving customers. This is the most typical type of customer. They always bargain to find a bargain when buying. What should you do? Say that it's the company's policy. Don't get drawn into a price war with the customer, but focus on talking about the value and benefits of the product that the customer will receive. When you talk about the value and benefits the customer will receive, you'll touch their emotions. If it sounds good to the ear, they'll open their wallet. Closing the deal will be faster. 5. Selling to know-it-all customers. In some cases, when selling, you'll encounter customers who like to show off. They only know about 20% of the product information, but think they know the entire production process. However, believe me, this is the type of customer who will help you achieve 80% of your sales. The secret when selling to them is to listen actively. Don't argue about right or wrong. Instead, give them compliments. When they're allowed to speak, listened to, and praised, they'll happily take out their money and buy your product. 6. Selling to impulsive customers. This is the type of customer who makes purchase decisions based on emotions. You should grasp their psychology and close the deal right at the time of communication. Create a positive conversation and close the sale while everything is great. absolutely do not postpone to the next day or later, because by the next day, everything will have cooled down and the customer will no longer be interested. In fact, with impulsive customers, by the next day, they might not even remember they had the intention of buying your product. 7. Selling to thoughtful customers. They are the type of customer who is thoughtful. They're not impulsive, but they're also not overly meticulous. Mainly, they need a lot of time to decide anything in life. To sell to these customers, you need to be patient and provide all the information about your product. Then support them with inquiries to help them make a decision faster. 8. Selling to meticulous customers. They are the type of customer who researches your product and other products very carefully. If you want to sell to them, you need to be very patient and listen, answering their questions. The one who is more attentive will win. 9. Selling to difficult customers. 80% of your and your company's troubles come from this type of customer. They're the type of customer that salespeople fear and avoid. But if you encounter this type of customer, what should you do? You should yield 3 parts and assist them in choosing the product. But sometimes, not every customer is king. We have a right to refuse to serve those who are too difficult to eliminate future trouble for yourself and your company. 10. Selling to hot-tempered customers. This type of customer gets angry easily and likes to make a fuss when something displeases them. If you want to close a sale with this type of customer, you need to stay calm and listen to their feedback. Don't interrupt them when they're talking. Be gentle in all your words to avoid offending them. Offering them water, candy, or a small gift is a great way to calm them down and create goodwill. When you create good rapport, this type of customer will make a purchase decision very quickly. In this video, I've introduced you to 5 top-notch customer psychology manipulation techniques in sales and how to sell to 10 classic customer types so you can sell to anyone. If you're particularly interested in anything in this video, leave a comment below and I'll share it in future videos. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the next helpful videos. Financial Alchemy. See you in the next video.